few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Chicago Bears. First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. This defense for the Niners, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
Play action. It's Fields. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Fields now to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Grant. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 5 yards, and that means they come up short, as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, here's Mostert again. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, here comes Mostert. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now on to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 13 yards, the tally on the return there. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. 5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
On second down now, it's Montgomery. And this will be a Bears first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
First down, Chicago.
Off play action, Fields. Escaping the pressure right. Deep ball for Goodwin. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. A huge play there for Chicago.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Dancing to his left. Taking a shot for Samuel. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Lance to throw it. Got his target, Samuel. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. They'll run on first down. It's Mitchell. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 44, Lance. Forced out to his left. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 44-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Lance winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he is all the way up past the 25. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. One play action. Fields steps away to his left. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Lance a handoff here to Mostert. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Lance looking to throw it. Buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now Lance. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Go. 31. Move straight.
And that'll set him back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Here's Lance. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. On 1st down, Fields. That is caught by Cohen. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Out of the gun, Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. Cole Kmet in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears would extend their lead here just before halftime. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. A carry there for Mostert as he's able to work his way forward for a pretty good pickup on first down. Officially a gain of 5. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Let's get off the field. Mike, 4. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
Off of play action, here's Lance. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A run there with Mostert as he'll push this forward and call it a 4-yard gain on first down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Second down, here's Mostert again.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Mike 4. Yeah, I got you.
Faking the give to Mostert. Now Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big third down play there for the Niners.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
58,
Mitchell. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
Mostert is in. Touchdown 49ers. Raheem Mostert, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. Now the 49ers electing to leave the offense out there and go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is in for the 2 points. So they're back within a score as the lead's cut to 8. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here. I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Flush to his right. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And incomplete on the deep ball. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. Touchdown Bears! Darnell Mooney, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as the Bears push further out in front. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Lance. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And they'll go for it. Lance. It's brought in by Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Lance. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Now a play fake. Lance. And he will find his man, Samuel. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Lance now to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Mostert. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Being chased out left. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 25-yard line.
2nd and 8. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Bears, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.